titled "The Voice of Hind Rajab" received 23 minutes of uninterrupted applause at the 82nd Venice Film Festival. Sorry, this is a difficult story to talk about, even though it gives you a shred of hope in humanity, considering the reception this film received. Anyway, the drama is based on a 6-year-old Palestinian girl who was trapped in a car with dead family members and was eventually murdered by the IDF last year. We did extensive coverage on that. Some of the biggest names in Hollywood are also behind the film. So we'll get to them in a little bit, but first let's refresh our memories about what happened to Hind. In January of 2024, Hind's family was fleeing Gaza to escape from bloodshed, but their car was attacked by the IDF. Audio recordings of calls between Hind and emergency call operators suggest that the 6-year-old was the only one left alive in the car, hiding from Israeli forces among the bodies of her relatives. Her pleas for someone to help her, to save her, ended when the phone line was cut amid the sound of more gunfire. Take a look.
A desperate call for help from 6-year-old Hind, terrified, trapped in a car. Everyone around her is dead. Hind was in the car with her uncle, his wife, and their 4 children, trying to flee fighting from this part of northern Gaza. The horror in that car captured in this call for help from her cousin, recorded by the Palestine Red Crescent.
انتوا متخبيين؟
في السيارة احنا جنبينا الدبابة.
انتوا جوا السيارة؟ الو؟ الو؟
An ambulance was then sent to rescue. I can't handle this story. It's too hard, Jake. Can you get the rest of it?
Okay, so an ambulance that was sent to rescue Hind was also destroyed by the IDF. So these are the people that are pretending that they're not doing it deliberately. The IDF was aware that an ambulance was going there. They did not go to help the ambulance. They went to go to murder the people inside the ambulance. They knew that a 6-year-old was trapped inside the car, and they went to go kill her. So that is very much the definition of terrorism. That is what the IDF is. They're a bunch of terrorists at this point. They weren't always, but certainly in these last 2 years they have been. In a statement, the Palestinian Red Crescent accused Israel of deliberately targeting the ambulance as soon as it arrived on the scene, and that is what they did. BBC News reports the Israeli occupation deliberately, this is a statement from the Palestinian Red Crescent, deliberately targeted the Red Crescent crew despite obtaining prior coordination to allow the ambulance to arrive at the scene to rescue the child Hind. They also told the BBC that it had taken several hours to coordinate access with the Israeli army in order to send paramedics to Hind. See, they made a mistake. They thought if we tell the Israelis there's a 6-year-old trapped, they won't want, I mean, at a minimum, they won't want the bad PR of murdering a 6-year-old. And we're being super clear with them so they don't make any mistakes and think, oh, it's terrorism or Hamas or whatever. No, and they told the Israelis, they're like, oh, thank you for telling us, so we can murder everyone involved and finish the job, because they had already killed her uncle, her aunt, and the cousins. So their spokesperson for the Red Crescent in that case said, we got the coordination, we got the green light. On arrival, the crew confirmed that they could see the car where Hind was trapped and they could see her. The last thing we heard is continuous gunfire. And of course, as always, no one has been held accountable because it wasn't an accident. They meant to kill her. They meant to kill the rescue workers in the ambulance. You saw the other day on tape, there was rescue workers after they did a strike on a hospital that killed I think it was 5 journalists, but they've murdered so many journalists, we're beginning to lose count, more than all of the other conflicts in the world combined. So the rescue workers, and you see them in orange vests, etc., boom, they fire a missile right at them and kill them all, okay? Because that's what Israel has done. They've killed more rescue workers, more journalists, more human rights workers than any other conflict in the world. That includes Syria, that includes North Korea, that includes Russia and what they're doing in Ukraine. Much worse than all those conflicts. In fact, when it comes to journalists, worse than all those conflicts combined, okay?
So because this film came out, journalists are like, the American press is like, oh yeah, that's right, that happened, and Israel told us that they had launched an investigation into it, so let's reach out and see like what the update is on the investigation. And they just said, we're still investigating. They're not investigating, obviously, but I want to talk about the reception for the film. So the Voice of Hind Rajab is a reenactment of what happened last year, with one big exception. Rather than cast a child actress to play Hind, or change what the little girl actually said, the director chose to keep the real audio of her phone call in the film, which I'm very grateful that they did. Most of the film's visual sequences are reconstructions of the experiences of the Palestine Red Crescent staff who were working in their West Bank office at the time. There were many calls from Hind across a period of hours as the increasingly desperate workers tried to balance the task of trying to organize an ambulance to collect her, for which they had to secure advance Israeli approval, while reassuring a child in a situation for which there is no reassurance. And there are a lot of big names behind this film, and I'm happy to see that. So, attached to the film as executive producers are the following. You have Brad Pitt, Joaquin Phoenix, and one of my personal favorites, Rooney Mara. Two celebrated directors are also attached to the film as executive producers, including Alfonso Cuarón and Jonathan Glazer. And it's also worth noting that Glazer is a Jewish man whose last movie was about the horrors of the Holocaust. And so when people try to make our criticism about Israel, they try to smear us as anti-Semites. It's so defamatory and so disgusting toward all of the Jewish people across in this country and across the globe. And by the way, in Israel, who protest what the Israeli government and the IDF is currently doing.
Yeah, let's be honest here. In the old days, like as in 2 years ago, if anyone attached their name to a movie that criticized Israel, they would have been fired. Their career would have been over. And so it's not because Jews would have done it. No, look, Jonathan Glazer's doing amazing work here, and I guarantee you they target him as well. Because it's not about the religion, it's about Israeli government and its rabid, thuggish supporters who go around the globe, and including here in America and across in Europe as well. And they go, if you criticize Israel, we're gonna call you an anti-Semite, we're gonna ruin your career, right? So now, though, they're having trouble containing it. Now, Brad Pitt, Joaquin Phoenix, Jonathan Glazer, you can call them self-hating, you can call them anti-Semites, you can call them all these dirty names, but it's not working anymore because the whole world is saying, no, we're not gonna let you commit a genocide. You don't have a special exemption, okay? And so now they're having trouble containing the truth. And they've done a great job of lying to the world for a long, long time. Israel has. 1948, we got attacked. Oh yeah, the 800,000 Palestinians fled for their lives. Why? Because you were killing them, you were murdering them. But in America, I was lied to. I was told, oh yeah, the Palestinians, they chose to leave. And they're the barbers who attacked the poor Israelis. No, that's not what happened in 1948. The Nakba happened in 1948. They drove them out by murdering Palestinians, tying some of them to trees and lighting them on fire, dragging their dead bodies across town. Look, guys, we're not gonna relitigate the existence of Israel. It exists, and it's gonna exist. It's got nukes, it's got Iron Dome, it's got this giant genocidal military. It's not going anywhere, and we're not arguing for it to go anywhere. We're asking for a very simple thing. Stop murdering 6-year-olds. It's not a hard ask. They've murdered over 20,000 children in Gaza. There's no justification for it. It's one of the most immoral things I have ever seen in my life. So thank you to the people who created this movie. Thank you to the executive producers, to the director, and for everyone for the reception that it's getting. Let's all say it in unison. They can't cancel all of us. They can't fire all of us. They can't arrest all of us. Okay, and that's why we did this shirt. It says shoptyt.com, guys. We're not keeping any of the profits. 100% of the profits goes to Palestine Children's Relief Fund, okay? For the entire Free Palestine collection. Why are we doing it? Because I don't want people thinking Americans are monsters and that we like this genocide. No, the American people are against this genocide. Their heart is broken when they see what happened to Hind. And our hearts are further broken because our terribly corrupt politicians are making us pay for it. And they're pretending that they represent us when they enthusiastically cheer for and fund this sickening genocide. That is what our deeply corrupt politicians in America do, and unfortunately a lot of our media still equivocating. Oh, maybe when Israelis murdered 64,000 people, 20,000 kids, and then you mass starvation. They're still the moral army. They're not terrorists. No, that is exactly what a terrorist does. What they did to Hind is as evil as anything a terrorist has ever done. So thank you for making this movie, and for all Americans out there, speaking on behalf of the Palestinians, you represent our better angels, and we love you for it. So Palestinians, if you're watching in any way, shape, or form, know that our country and our people are not anywhere near as evil as our leaders. Our leaders are disgusting, and they've been literally legally bribed through AIPAC and the Israeli lobby, and they work for Israel. They do not work for the American people. The American people's hearts are broken by what's happening in Gaza. We do not believe in genocide, no matter who's doing it. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.